everyone, and welcome to the Museum of Sonoma County's first ever unGala. My name is Stacy Pastis, and I have the honor of serving on the museum board of directors. With me is our unrivaled executive director, Jeff Nathanson. We had planned an in-person event, but like so many other aspects of our lives, we have had to pivot and go to this electronic gathering. The name unGala is a nod to Alice in Wonderland and the unbirthday party of the Mad Hatter. Basically, it's an event on any date other than the one originally selected. We had selected a date for our in-person event and then moved to this unGala, and hence the name. I have the honor of being the chair of the unGala, and that's why I get to welcome you tonight. That statement makes it sound as if I've had a huge amount of my effort has gone into this event, but truly so many people work so hard to make this happen. And there are two people that I especially want to note. The unparalleled Maggie Stockel, who is our development manager, and the unsurpassed Katie Azanza, who is our manager of marketing and visitor experience. I want to be sure that they don't remain unsung heroes. I'd also like to take this opportunity to say from everyone at the museum that we hope that you and everyone you love are safe and finding ways to stay happy. The museum has had to close its doors, but we are ready and willing to engage with you online. At our website, you will find virtual tours of our existing exhibits, programs, activities, interviews, all kinds of great stuff. Thank you to all of you for attending and participating tonight. We want you to know how much we truly value your support and that in our estimation, you are unmatched. The museum would not be able to engage and inspire our community without your unending support. I also want to thank our Untable and business sponsors. Those people have our undying gratitude and truly are part of the fabric of the museum. And now I would like to hand things over to Jeff. Take it away, Jeff.
Thank you, Stacy. Tonight's celebration is part of an event that includes an art auction, adopt an object campaign, and text to donate fundraising component. All the art for sale in our auction comes from incredible artists who have a relationship with the museum. When you adopt an object, you are giving to provide care for an object from our permanent collection. The object continues to live with us, but you will be a part of its history. Or you may choose to be part of our Fund a Need program. You can donate to a specific purpose to help us continue our mission of engaging, inspiring, and educating our community through art and history. This is a difficult time financially, and we need your support. Please help us continue to be an essential part of Sonoma County history and the region's art community by making a donation on the unGala event page or texting unGala, that's UNGALA, to 91999. And now back to you, Stacy.
Thank you, Jeff. Now I'd like to start the party by introducing our unequaled business sponsors. Paradise Ridge Winery, whose fabulous wines were offered as part of this event. Wright Contracting, a great friend to the museum. Fleur Sauvage Chocolates as well. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Wine Country Group. And Café Frida Gallery, whose co-owner Mamadou Diouf has a cocktail recipe to share with us, and we'll get the party started. Mamadou?
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Mamadou, co-owner of Café Frida Gallery in Santa Rosa. And today I was going to show you how we make one of our favorite cocktail, non-alcoholic, which is the tamarind fizz. And I'm also going to show you how to spike it in a way if you like to spike some of your cocktails. Anyway, so I already made the recipe on how to make this beautiful nectar of puree. And those of you who don't know what tamarind is a fruit. It's grown in in Asia, Africa, South America. It's tangy, has a citrusy type taste and earthy, and it's super refreshing once you mix it up. It can also be in a savory or in a sweet side. Anyway, so what we do, I have my nectar over here already ready. So usually we just put it in a column glass. Put about 2 ounces of your nectar. I usually eyeball it, but now that I have to do it so people can learn, I just have to do it right. So about 2 ounces of the nectar. Few ice cubes. I always say put the ice cubes before you put your soda water. And then you'll have some sparkling water. And what I do is take a lemon and make a very long strip of your lemon zest. And I just like squeeze it a little. And what I usually do, I use the lemon twist to kind of stir it. And then you get all the nectars to come up. And you let it go. And there it is. This is our tamarind fizz. Hi guys, welcome back. This is the fun part. This is where we spike up a cocktail just to the notch by adding whatever spirit. You can use any type of spirit. It could be vodka, gin, tequila, whatever you like. That's actually, it could even work with bourbon. Anyway, so then you'll take a shaker, wet shaker, and take whatever tamarind nectar mixture. Do about 1.5 ounces. Since we're making 2 cocktails, so we'll do 3 ounces. Then we'll have 2 ounces of lemon juice added to our mixture. And then I'm using Spirit Works gin, so we'll do 2 ounces for each cocktail. So I'm going for 4 since I'm doing 2 cocktails. Then here we add our ice into our shaker. Shake, the harder, the better. Shake about 10 seconds to 15. The more the better, the merrier. There you go. And for our color, we'll add some ice to our color glass. Pour some of the mixture of the gin and our nectar. And then the same if you're having a martini. About halfway. And then we'll top it with our soda water, sparkling water. And of course garnished with lemon zest. I like to cut them long so that you can just kind of get all the oils and just kind of dip it in and squeeze. Then the choice of either thyme or rosemary. Today we have some fresh rosemary, so I'm using rosemary. And same for the martini. Some long squeeze, get all the oils in, and then just top it with our rosemary. And there it is. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Mamadou. Cheers. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Eric Stanley, our Associate Director and Curator of History, to provide you with some valuable insight into our museum's remarkable permanent collection and our Adopt an Object program. Eric?
Thank you, Jeff, and good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here to talk a little bit about the museum's permanent collection and our Adopt an Object program. We have 24 objects for adoption, and you'll find them at the URL that appears at the bottom of the screen. By adopting one or more objects, you will help support the museum and our mission to preserve and present the history, art, and culture of Sonoma County. Beyond the 24 artifacts that we have available, we have over 18,000 objects in our collection. But they represent more than just physical things. They represent stories and people and a passageway into our history. They make history real and tangible, and they provide us the opportunity to debate their meaning and to reflect on what defines who and what we are. They have so many stories to tell. You know, artifacts can tell their own stories to a degree, what they are, how they were made and used. But you know, they also connect people and places, and they mean many different things. They capture moments in time, and they reflect change. As things that symbolize the history of this place and the people that live and have lived here, these artifacts have the power to bind us together around our shared history and our sense of place. So when you adopt an object, you're not just supporting its physical well-being, you are acting as a caretaker of the important stories that it has to tell. And the objects in the museum's collection have all kinds of stories to tell. From the history of places and buildings that have been lost to time, whether it is the ornate ceramic lion dogs that guarded the entrance to the Chinese temple in Santa Rosa's lost Chinatown, or a portion of the library that once graced the mansion at Fountain Grove many decades ago, the museum's collection preserves the memory of these places. If you're looking for a record of important mass movements, you'll find a remarkable legacy of the environmental movement. Or objects that spell out the labor activism among Latino agricultural workers in the 1960s. You'll find the history of towns and communities from Petaluma to Cloverdale, from Sonoma to Bodega Bay, and everywhere in between. You'll find our community writ in tangible things. The collection also documents triumphs and also history-altering disasters, everything from the clock hand in the courthouse that collapsed in the 1906 earthquake, to the Coffee Lane street sign, damaged but recognizable after the 2017 firestorms. You see, not everything in the collection is really old by any stretch of the imagination. The collection is a living, breathing, growing thing. We continue to collect in the here and now, whether it's things that relate to the current pandemic or protests against social injustice. Is there any question that these things are of historic importance? You see, collecting them now is really an act of faith in the future. We know these are things that we will need to reflect on in the coming years. Each object has a story to tell, or many stories, and altogether they are the story of us. Take this hat. It seems like the kind of hat from which one might pull a white rabbit. Let's say a rabbit that incessantly checks his pocket watch and declares, "I am late, late, late for a very important date." You know, but in truth, this hat was sold from a shop on 4th Street in Santa Rosa in about 1905, sold to a man named Burris, who was a member of the city council, who would have to grapple with the devastation of the 1906 earthquake. And from whom did he buy it? From a man named Hiram L. Tripp, who in addition to running a clothing store, was appointed postmaster in Santa Rosa, the first postmaster who would serve in a brand new post office that would open in 1910, a building that 70 years later would have to be saved from the wrecking ball by relocating it across 2 blocks, and that today is part of the Museum of Sonoma County. So from one hat, I can pull many stories. stories worth saving. Help us preserve these artifacts and their remarkable stories by adopting one of our objects. Thank you so much for your support. And, Jeff, it looks like it's time to go back to you.
Thank you, Eric, for that excellent overview of objects from the museum's collection. I have the honor of serving as the museum's art curator in addition to my role as executive director. So it's my pleasure to tell you about our exhibition program and our unGala art auction. 5 years ago, our museum expanded our campus beyond the historic post office with a contemporary art space in the warehouse building that was formerly home to Conklin Brothers Flooring. I recall my first visit here in May 2017 and how amazed I was to walk into an art space on a par with galleries in New York, LA, or San Francisco. Alice herself, in an exploration through the looking glass, would undoubtedly be amazed at the treasures to be found in such an extraordinary place. In fact, in 2017, the Franklin Williams exhibition you see here was recognized among the top 20 contemporary exhibitions in the nation. When you buy artwork through our auction, you are supporting one of the largest and most visible venues for the exhibition of original works of art north of San Francisco. I hope you will find the selection of artworks in our auction as exciting and compelling as I do. Every artwork in the 3 dozen we have included are worthy of being added to any collection, whether it's your first purchase of original art or is being added to a long-standing and growing private collection. Because we are dedicated to helping to support the careers of working artists, we are splitting the proceeds of our auction with the artists 50-50. So in most cases, your art purchase will support the artist as well as the museum. A few of the artists, however, are very generous and are contributing 100%. We wish to thank all of them for their kindness and support. Artworks included in our auction are by artists who have exhibited with us, are represented in our collection, or have been longtime supporters of the museum. The works represent an array of themes, subjects, and media. Some were created by artists who have revived techniques used for centuries, while others have broken from tradition and utilized new technologies. As you explore the auction, you'll find that there's something for everyone. For those who enjoy our current exhibition, Landscape, Awe to Activism, we have several works that reflect the artist's relationship to nature. You'll discover serene landscapes paying homage to the natural beauty of the world around us, and abstract works inspired by the movement of air and water. Many of the artists featured in the auction have created statements about human impact on the environment and climate change, providing warnings about our current path and offering a vision of hope for the future. Our 2019 exhibition, See Something, Say Something, encouraged individuals to call out threats to society such as racism, sexism, and economic disparity. Many of the artists in the auction have used their creativity and wit to address these important and timely issues. The annual Artistry in Wood exhibition presented by the Sonoma County Woodworkers Association is a favorite among museum visitors. You've admired the impeccable craftsmanship in our galleries. Now you can enjoy these stunning pieces in your own home. Many of the works are meant to be viewed over and over again. With hidden narratives and stories embedded throughout the piece, you'll find something new and intriguing every time. Several of the artists are not only known for their art, but for the impact they have made on our local community, teaching new generations and encouraging creative young minds. The artworks featured in the auction reflect themes and values that are at the core of our organization. Through our exhibitions and educational programs, we aim to encourage creativity, diversity, compassion, and community collaboration. Many of the artists in the auction have taken active roles in supporting our efforts. It is our honor and pleasure to present these works in our unGala art auction. Now, with less than 24 hours left in the auction, you have an opportunity to purchase one or more artworks to show your support. We hope you'll bid generously and enjoy your new acquisitions for years to come. Our next speaker is not only a highly respected and much loved actor, but a former chair and founding member of the California Arts Council who continues to be an advocate for the arts, culture, and the environment. In particular, we are grateful that he is a friend of our museum. I am therefore pleased to welcome our very special guest, Peter Coyote. Peter?
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming to the Museum of Sonoma's virtual gala. It may not be strange to you to be seeing me on screen. This is what I do for a living. And although I do it less now that I've moved to Sonoma County, but I'm amply rewarded for that loss. Many people think that museums are just the embodiment of our memory, but if you do, you're selling it short. Museums are a central hub of creative thinking. They offer the basis of history. They offer young people and older people the information of what's been done in the past with an eye toward the future. You don't need to build a big building and have exhibits if you're just going to think about the past. In my work and my life as a professional artist, I guess my organizing principle has been the creative process. And the creative process is a problem-solving mechanism. All of the arts are basically done the same way. They start with an impulse, a hunch. You make a line, you write a line, you do a splash of color, you make a movement. And then you step back and evaluate it. And that combination of intuition and logic, left hemisphere and right hemisphere, makes a very, very coordinated brain activity. And it's why artists make such unique problem solvers. So right here in the county of Sonoma, we've solved one problem of being a public institution and staying open during the pandemic. So we're having this virtual gala. This August will be our 5th month closed. And I suppose many of you are probably somewhat stir crazy. For me, the sequester is kind of a blessing. I've finished a book I've been working on a long time. I'm working in my garden. I'm taking guitar lessons from a very tough teacher. I have time to practice. And once a week, people come over and we sit outside and chat, distanced. It's pretty nice. A lot of the helter-skelter and the travel has gone out of my life. We have educational programs, collections to be admired and studied. We have different cultures, different perspectives, and it's all made available to the community through this institution. And it's a tough time for individuals, and it's a tough time for this institution. We can't do it without community support. It's just that simple. We have staff, we have expenses, we have responsibilities to the community. And for those of you that make us part of your community, our job is sometimes to ask you to dig into your pockets and help us. And particularly now, where people are not coming into closed indoor spaces, we need your help. We very much appreciate you coming to the gala tonight. Let me see if there's something I've forgotten. Yes, I've forgotten to tell you that all of our programs are online. You can go to the Museum of Sonoma and you can have a virtual experience of our museum. And we encourage you to do this with your children. There's something there for every age group. There's something there for every culture. So that's enough out of me. We have a whole event planned. I just want to thank you again for coming and thank you for supporting this museum and asserting as a newcomer here how impressed I am with it. I've been many times. I've met staff and directors, and this is a serious professional operation, and it's a blessing to our community. And we ought to return the effort that's put into it with our own efforts, whether it's fiscal, or whether it's volunteering, or whether it's support. So thank you all very much, and I wish you all a very good evening. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the chair of our board of directors, Nancy Glaze, to say a few words. Nancy?
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here at the museum's gala. You've heard a lot about the museum, but I do want to remind you that we are a Smithsonian affiliate museum, and we have programs accordingly. Let me take a few moments to let you know what programming we do have going on while the museum doors are closed, and a few things that are in the works. Both of our current exhibitions, Landscape Odd Activism and From Suffrage to Me Too, are available to experience with 360-degree imaging. Virtual tours are available for the Landscape Show, the History of the Post Office, narrated by Peter Coyote, and the History of Santa Rosa, which is currently on view in our mezzanine gallery that includes objects from our permanent collection. We are providing free art lessons featuring our Art for Kids teaching artists. We partnered with Transcendence Theater Company to provide art lessons for their art e-books program, which were distributed to families without access to the internet. We ventured into online programming, which allowed us to reach a larger audience and have presented all of our programs free of charge. These include artist talks, conversations with community leaders, Smithsonian programming, film screenings, and art lessons. Looking forward, our annual Day of the Dead exhibition will take place outdoors this year in our sculpture garden. New and exciting virtual programs and online content, including special content for our members, will be created. A virtual sculpture garden experience is in the works. And we are creating an online exhibition that takes a look back at Sonoma County during the 1918 flu pandemic. I hope you will take advantage of our programs, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Nancy, for your dedicated and inspiring leadership. You just heard how we've overcome current challenges to provide rich and diverse virtual content. I'm proud of the work of our creative, brilliant, and dedicated staff. We opened the exhibitions From Suffrage to Me Too and Landscape Odd Activism just a few weeks before being closed because of COVID. But because of our amazing team, we have been able to bring those exhibitions to life online and create a robust virtual presence for all our programs, even while remaining physically closed. It is only with your support that our museum can continue to be relevant, engaging, and inspiring to the community. That's why we wish to thank all of our sponsors, all those who have bid on artwork, adopted objects in our collection, all who have donated, and each and every one of you for being here with us tonight. Coming into tonight's event, we have already raised over $39,000, but we still have almost 24 hours to go until tomorrow night at 7 p.m. when the art auction bidding and Adopt an Object close. With your help, we can surpass $50,000 in funds raised to support our mission, and who knows how high we can go. Together, I know we can make it happen. So please bid and donate generously. Every dollar makes a difference. Remember, it's easy to donate by texting unGala to 91999. Before we wrap up tonight's program, I want to acknowledge the hardest working and most creative staff of any museum, and the generosity and dedication of our board of directors and our leadership council. On behalf of all of us, thank you for joining us tonight and for your support of the Museum of Sonoma County. Good night and stay safe.